Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today, I just wanted to sit down and do makeup. There have been so many new releases over the past couple months that I've been wanting to try out, but despite my wishes that 2019 would be a year of like less product releases and more like good spaced out releases, the brands didn't listen. They're just putting things out. So I'm really trying to focus on new releases that really make me excited. I have a bunch of new releases to test out. I'm gonna do a full face of like new exciting stuff and just try out some new things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see how I got this aGgReSsiVEly green look, keep watching, and yeah, let's do this. Alright, so before we start with the makeup, in the last Get Ready With Me I did, you guys seem to enjoy me showing like a little bit of skin prep before. I feel like that's something a lot of people like just kind of gloss over. Today's a Saturday. I've kind of gone the entire week just letting stress and oil and gross shit build up in my pores. I normally do like a mask on Saturday before my makeup just because I have more time and I like to sit down and do something nice for my face. Today I'm going to be using the Teamy Detox Mask. This is a green tea mask with clay in it. So clay masks are usually more detoxifying and they pull stuff out of your pores. As my skin is drier now, I try to only use clay masks like maybe once a week tops. Bright green, it smells like lemongrass. Oh, I just look so beautiful.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 10 minutes just because my skin is on the drier side, and yeah, I'm just gonna chill for a bit. My face feels really dry right now, and that's just a sign I should wash it off. There is bentonite clay in here and also kaolin clay, so it's definitely a more like geared towards oily skin mask, and that's not me, so I'm gonna go wash this off right now. My skin definitely feels very, very clean, like the pores feel empty, but it also does feel very dry, so now's the time to just like load it back up with moisturizers and stuff, which I'm really excited about. I really wanted to try out the Tarte Dewy Skin Cream, but balling on a budget here, so I wasn't gonna pick up the full size, especially if I didn't know if it would work for me, but I did pick up a little sample size from Sephora, so I'm gonna use that as my moisturizer today. Definitely smells like your basic Tatcha product. If you know if you've ever tried a Tatcha product, they all have this very distinctive like Tatcha scent. It smells like that, very clean, like fresh bamboo, linen, and a tiny bit of like floral eucalyptus. Feels like a slightly thicker version of the water cream. Not super oily, which I was a bit nervous about, especially because the Dewy Skin Mist is very dewy and very oily, but this is just making it nice and dewy and shiny and feel pretty hydrated, so liking it so far. Okay, for primer, I've had a few requests to try this one out, and I decided to pick up a sample size from Sephora. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I used this one yesterday for the first time, and I didn't really like it. It might have been the foundation that I tried it with, but I felt like it really just made everything kind of disgusting. But I've heard a lot of really good reviews for it, so I'm just using a small amount, and I'm gonna use it again today. I really like to give products a fair shot, but like recently I've started rediscovering products that I kind of wrote off originally, especially now that my skin's changed, and I've just been noticing like good results with things I thought I really didn't like. So nowadays, of course, I try and test my products at least 5 times before I share like a full review in my new makeup releases favorites and fails series, but this is a very, very sticky primer. I've heard a lot of people comparing it to the CoverFX gripping primer in that it's very sticky and it's supposed to hold your makeup down all day long, so we'll see how that lasts. It definitely does make your skin pretty dewy, but also sticky, so Foundation today, I'm using another new product. This is the Tarte Found Sealer. They just released 2 new foundations, which I find kind of weird. Babasu Found Sealer is supposed to be like a dewy or more hydrating foundation, medium to full coverage, so we'll test that out. Again, I have tested this a couple times, but I want to share my thoughts on screen with you guys and get ready with me, so that's why we're doing this. Also, I just wanted to share my thoughts on the shade range because they came out with a really good and really full shade range this time. And this is actually the first time I've purchased from Tarte since the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. I'm just really glad to see that they learned from their mistakes. I saw some people in the comment section just being like, no, we're done with it. Why would we like support? They're just trying to be disingenuous. But like, this is what we wanted them to do. This is what we asked them to do, what we pushed them to do. They learned from their mistakes, and I just want to respect that, so I think that's really awesome. So this is actually the first thing I've purchased from Tarte in about a year and a half. It's kind of crazy to me, but I want to give it a fair shot. I do remember liking Tarte's complexion products, so let's give it a test. In Tarte's foundations, I wear the shade Fair Light Neutral, and my skin is already looking pretty dewy, but that's kind of a look I've been going for lately. I can live with that. I can live with looking really, really greasy. This seems to be blending out better on top of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I used it the other day using like a pore filling primer and it was just like slip sliding everywhere. So I think this is one you're going to want to pair with a more like watery based primer. I do think this would probably work with Tatcha Silk Canvas though, just because that kind of works with everything and Tatcha is kind of this exception to the rule. Alright, so that is it all blended out. I definitely can tell that I look very, very dewy. Like, this is almost dewy on a new level. I think it's a combination of the skin cream, the primer, and the foundation all coming together, but I'm like not mad about it. I would say this is a medium coverage. It's not completely full coverage. I do have a little bit of redness peeking through on my chin here and on my cheeks a little bit. It's not something like the Hourglass foundation where I feel like I don't even have to go in with concealer on like my cheeks or anything just to cover up any redness. But this one's a bit more of like a gentle coverage and it doesn't feel super heavy either. I think it covered a lot, but it feels like I'm wearing almost nothing, so I like that. I don't have anything super new for concealer, but I'm gonna try a new like technique that I've seen, I think Patrick Ta doing. So I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape, which I also have not used in a long time. And I'm actually gonna start by applying this onto my hand. So just about this much, getting a nice like even layer. And I'm gonna go directly into my sponge and then onto my under eyes for a little bit of a lighter application, because Tarte Shape Tape, I feel like it's one of those concealers that's so easy to go super overboard with. I like that. It looks a little bit like more minimal and not as heavy on the under eyes, and I feel like it's so easy to get there with Shape Tape that this is a really nice effective approach. However, I do feel like I'm wasting a little bit of product in here. And go ahead and try and do some spot concealing. So, oh my gosh, you know what? I really love how that looks. I think that's probably the easiest time I've ever had blending Tarte Shape Tape. Tarte Tape Shape, because it does have a very matte finish. It's very, very full coverage, like very full coverage. I feel like having just a bit of a lighter layer still gives that coverage, but it's also going to be a lot less prone to creasing. So I do feel like it's a little bit wasteful just because, you know, you waste a lot of it on your hand. It looks pretty damn nice, so nice. The under eyes, I have my Fenty Beauty Lavender Setting Powder, and I'm going to use this to do kind of a soft bake. This is a technique I've been trying to do because my skin is a little bit drier and I just haven't been loving the look of like full-on baking. So I'm gonna take a little bit of powder and just stamp it on the under eyes like I am baking, then blend it out like it's concealer. So I'm kind of just like blending the powder into the under eyes, pressing it in, and this will pick up most of it onto the sponge but leave behind a nice soft layer of powder that like won't allow it to get super crepey on the under eyes. You can just touch it and it feels very, very soft and velvety on the under eyes, but also does a nice job of like brightening everything up and setting it all into place. Gonna go in with some cream contour today. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick in Mink because I have nothing new. Get that nose skintier than Mariah. I think I'm gonna go in with like a cream bronzer as well, just because I'm kind of in that type of mood today. I want like glowy, slightly natural, but not natural at all makeup, if that makes sense.
No.
So I have this bronzer from Undone Beauty, a small indie beauty brand. This is the water bronzer in the shade Baked. So on first glance, it looks pretty aggressive, but it's actually like a sheer water type bronzer. So I'm gonna apply it on my cheek so you can see. But it just shears out like that. I actually brought this to Japan with me and it was super, super easy to just throw on. Because it's like a water texture, it blends out really easily on top of like water-based foundation. So that's why I'm using it today with the Babasu foundation, just because I feel like it'll kind of... That looks very, very nice. I feel like it shears out really easily and creates a soft bronzy effect that's still nice and dewy and kind of natural. Gonna go ahead and set everything in with the Hourglass Veil Powder, just doing a light layer. I saw Jaclyn Hill using her sponge with this, so I'm gonna try that out today. I've just been really appreciating AOA Studio sponges, especially because beauty blenders out here just being really unprofessional on the internet.
That's tea, actually.
Like, it takes some audacity to come out with the shady brains looking like this, create Instagram posts like this. So I'm just doing a very light layer on the areas where I feel like I'm gonna get excessively oily, so I'm leaving my cheeks unset for the most part. Just doing a nice light layer on my nose because I don't like that to be shiny. My chin, and then my cheeks right here by my nose. I'm gonna do my brows right now before I forget. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. I think I once got through an almost entire tutorial get ready with me and I didn't even do my brows and I didn't even notice because my mind is just so powerful. I don't know what is up with my brows, but I'm at a place with my brows where some days I'll do them and they just turn out so good and I'm like, wow, I'm that bitch. but sometimes I do them and I'm just like, wow, I suck at doing brows. I should really learn how to do brows. There's like no in between. It's either a really good brow day or a really bad brow day. For blush today, I'm going to use the Lottie London Blush Crush in the shade Zac. Just kind of like a berry toned blush. I'm going to go in with a pretty light hand. That's not a light hand. Okay, so I'm just going to be here blending for like 20 minutes. Cool. Love that. I love a good flush cheek for spring, but I just did too much. I'm actually going to use Tarte Shape Tape to prime my lids because I've never used this as an eyelid primer before. I've kind of just been stuck on using dedicated primers, but I'm just trying to like diversify my options because I want to find something that I can use to replace the P. Louise base. Now into the actual eye look. I'm going to go into this completely green palette and obviously create a green look. I'm going to start off with the shade here, Act Natural. Don't really know what kind of look I'm going for today. Probably cut crease because this is me. I'm just fluffing that right into the eye socket. Pretty high in the crease actually. I do think that these Colourpop palettes perform best on a wet shadow base. I think it really does help the pigmentation of the palettes, but also it's not super hard to blend on top of once you get the hang of it. So I like these on a wet base. So again, I'm just fluffing this into the crease, but I'm pulling it out towards the end of the brow and just kind of making a winged shape. I feel like all my eye looks just look really, really crazy up until the point I put lashes on. I just like look like a psychopath, which isn't wrong. Okay, that got really aggressive really fast, but I'm kind of cool with it. I'm gonna go into the shade here called Kiss My Ass just to blend that out. I'm gonna place it right above where I put Act Natural. I love that I get to just do this and just sit down and just kind of do makeup. I've been feeling so uninspired for the past like 2 weeks, and you've probably noticed that I haven't been posting on Instagram as much as I normally do. I just haven't had time to sit down and just do my makeup like this. And when beauty brands are just coming out with new things all the time, it's so hard to get like excited about makeup, I guess. I'm gonna go into the shade here called Chances Are, and instead of pressuring myself to try out all the new things, I'm just trying to try out what I'm excited about, and this was one of those things that I got really, really excited about. So this is such a dark look. I kind of love it. Oh my god. I just kind of want to bring it there, so I'm gonna go into the shade Mo Bamba, add that a little bit into the bottom of the crease. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm just really thankful for this. I'm thankful that I have this creative outlet. I'm thankful that I have you guys. We're almost to 15K, which I'm super excited about, and I'm planning to do a nice fat giveaway for you guys. Alright, I'm gonna just cut my crease. By the way, I've already done the other eye off camera because I just can't resist myself. Sometimes I'm like, hey, you know what? This time, in this Get Ready With Me, I'll do both eyes on camera. It'll never happen. Just taking a flat shader brush and I'm misting it with my Fix spray. And the first shimmer shade I'm gonna go into is the shade here called Mary Jane, right in the middle. We love a good Kush reference.
Smoke weed every day.
Just for the sake of brightness, I'm taking my finger and just patting on top of what we just put down with the brush. Love kind of going over shimmers with my finger just to add some extra intensity. Now we're gonna dip into the shade Olive You, which is right next to it. It's the color of Cash Money, honey.
The bags under my eyes are Prada. Kill your family.
And finally, I'm going to dip into the olive matte down here called Charmed. Next to the other ones, it kind of looks like a brown, but on the eyes, if you're pairing it with the right things, it turns into this beautiful foresty olive green. Just blending that in right next to Olive You. First, I push that into the shimmer shade just to blend the two together. And now I'm going to kind of flick it out outwards into the cut crease. I'm going to take Charmed again and just fluff that onto the lower lash line. Take a bit of Mo Bamba. I can't pick up this palette without hearing Sheck West's voice just reverberating in my head. It would be absolutely wrong of me to not use the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara, given that I just literally did a marijuana themed eyeshadow look. And for lashes, I'm gonna use the AOA Studio Foam Ink Lashes in the style Sonia. So my overall thoughts on the palette is that it's really, really nice. It does blend really easily. I would say I do prefer the purple one. We are in the home stretch for highlighters today. I wanted to dip into the James Charles Morphe palette. In his most recent video, he used the shade Face as his highlighter because this is his like favorite highlighter shade, so I figured I would try it out just because I'd never used this one as a highlighter before. It's supposed to be pretty much the same color as the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood luminizer, which I've never tried before. Oh my god, that's beautiful. James.
Yeah, that's cool, but he ain't like me.
Alright, last step for lips. I'm just going to line my lips with the Colourpop Red Rock lip liner in the shade BFF3. This is from the Wet collection, I believe. And then I'll finish it off with the Colourpop Velvet Blur lipstick in the shade CA Love. I have been testing these out and I'm not really sure how I feel about them. It's a really nice, like, glidey formula. It kind of feels like the Pat McGrath lipsticks. This definitely kind of reminds me of their Matte X lippy sticks as well. I think the concept of like a blurring lipstick is cool, except it feels really drying on the lips. But this is a completed look. I like it. Alright, that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me testing out a bunch of new products. I like the foundation. It's not as full coverage as it's been advertised to be, but I personally don't mind that. It's definitely very, very dewy. Kind of reminds me of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. So if you're wanting like a good dupe for this, that one could be a good one. And the primer I definitely liked a lot better with this foundation. I just felt like everything applied a lot better and didn't like grip in weird places. I think this is one of the best palettes I've tried from Colourpop in a long time, and it's probably better than the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette. So if you're wanting a good monochromatic palette, these could be like the best thing ever. So regardless, thank you guys so much for watching this video. March was really rough for me, definitely one of the most stressful months of my life, and definitely one of the more stressful months that I've had in a long time. And just being able to sit down and do something that I really love, that I've been feeling pressured to do, has just been wonderful. So I love you so much. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below, and also follow me on Instagram to see makeup looks like this posted. I'll try to get more regular, I'm sorry. And if you made it to the very end of this video, you get the bonus meme. I love you. Bonus meme gang. Bye.